Here we are then at the Crooked House, Himley, a most famous haunted pub in the West Midlands, reputedly with more than its share of spooks and spirits. And I ain't just talking about the bottle kind. We've come along with the toolkit today to investigate this holding and find out whether there are paranormal goings on or not, once and for all. Let's take a look at the toolkit now then and see just what items we need to find out if there is some paranormal goings on happening here. One of the first things that we really need to look at is this camera. Very simple little camera really, but one is particularly useful for tracking and haunting down ghosts because it's got an infrared lock on it. The minute that you see anything strange in the dark, press that shutter and you locate it onto there. Well, something that could be a very special picture for the files of the paranormal. Now this is a very useful piece of information, a magnifying glass, but alongside that you need a very simple bottle of talcum powder. Now what you do with this is search for handprints, a bit like a forensic scientist or a detective if you like, and this is what you do. Simply sprinkle a little bit of talcum powder onto a shiny surface like that, blow it and then look at it with the magnifying glass. If there are fingerprints or lens there, you'll see them, and that could be the first thing that you'll be booking down into your paranormal files as something strange going on. Masking tape. Now that is particularly useful for investigating doors that are supposed to open or close with haunted or ghostly hands. Well, here we are at a most interesting place in this particular haunted building because we have an area that's alleged to be a ghostly area that ghosts walk through gates. Now we love to investigate those sort of things and prove them or disprove them, and we can by using that masking tape that we had in the toolkit. We simply tear a piece off and place it in the gap there of that part of the door. We tear another piece off and place it towards the middle of the door, and one more piece of masking tape and we place it at the bottom of the door. Now that tape on that door is very useful to us because if that tape breaks without human hands, we know for sure that something paranormal, a ghost, has opened it if you like and broke the tape. But if that tape still stays together and people are still thinking that that door's opening on its own, well, it's not possible, is it? And that's how we use very simple things like we have in our toolkit to look out for and test for the paranormal. You really do need a good tape recorder, but you want something very simple, something like this that you just press a button. Now often a lot of people use digital tape recorders because they go for hours and hours and hours, but they have to be set. When you're investigating the paranormal, you want something very simple that you simply press the button and record what's happening. Very useful piece of equipment, a simple to use tape recorder when you're searching for ghosts. Chalks are very, very useful. You need a collection of chalks to simply mark around things that are said to move. Simple white ones like this will do. You simply mark objects with them. And that will prove whether things really move or not, or whether people are telling porcupines. Here we are then, a very interesting part of this particular pub. For here we have an area that objects are said to move on their own, and we have a simple way to check that out using the toolkit. We use our chalks. Simple white ones are all we need, and we mark around the object that is alleged to move. Now should we find later that on its own, without any hands touching it, that chalk mark has been broken, well, you've proved once and for all that those objects really do move, haven't you? And that's proving something psychic, isn't it? A simple thing like string, don't forget that, because that can tie doors and windows together too. And you can also use it to measure and tie things up that you want to be sure that people say things do move, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you've got to measure it be sure that it happens, and simply tying it up with a piece of string will do the job for you. Very useful things are thermometers. We have 3 of them here. That one, that one that you can see there, and the very simple card one that you simply stick on walls. Now these are very useful when you're measuring coal spots. A small digital watch is very useful for all ghost hunters, for the simple reason you want something that will be clear and easy to see at night, but also something that lights up. So you get yourself a little digital watch that you can clearly see at night. Record the time of anything that happens precisely and correctly, and you can always check back on it later. Very, very useful, those little watches. Well, there you go, folks. A very simple Ghost Hunter's Toolkit. You use all these very simple things and you will find a way to go to places and to investigate whether strange paranormal goings on are actually happening or not. Use these simple things and you'll prove whether it's fact or fiction, or the type of spirits that come in a bottle, or the ones that float around in the ether. Good luck, and may all your ghosts be hauntingly good.